Good morning everyone, and welcome back to my kitchen for the third and final video of this kitchen chemistry series of videos that I've been doing. So today, if you don't already know, I'm Harley. I'm from the Emerald Coast Science Center because that's where you're watching this video at. And today I wanted to talk about something that I am very passionate about, and that is conservation and ultimately reducing your carbon footprint. So there are many ways that you can reduce your carbon footprint, and one of those ways is by diverting food waste away from the landfills. So across the globe, about 1.3 billion tons of food is wasted. So all that, and that can be from you throwing it in the garbage can, that can be from restaurants, and that can be from just grocery stores that are just getting rid of those vegetables that aren't that pretty even, but they're still just as fine. So we want to reduce this because once the waste gets to the landfills, the massive layers of that organic material that is there is going to decompose, and it's going to produce greenhouse gases. For example, like methane. Methane really stinks, and it makes our air really hot. So one of the ways that you can reduce your food waste is by composting your scraps. So we're not going to do composting today, but this can kind of go into that. Say for instance you wanted to get rid of some of this stuff, you can put it in your compost and then eventually put that soil into your garden. But today we are going to be talking about reusing those food scraps or upcycling them, whatever you really want to call it. So today I have a couple that I have been growing because I wanted to get them growing ahead of time, but I'm going to show you guys how to do that exactly. So here I have some garlic. So this garlic has been growing. It's kind of bright. Can you see it? There we go. That's a little bit better. So right here is my garlic that I have been growing since about April 28th is when I put it in. That's when I put most of these in, except for a couple. So this is my garlic. So the way you want to do this one is you are just going to simply be taking a piece of the garlic, one that is about to go bad, or just you want to start growing it so that you can put it in your garden, and you're just going to sit it in a little bit of water like so. So here's a better view from it. So these roots are actually going to be coming up from the top. And then they'll grow up like that. You'll collect the seed, and then the seed will drop, and you can actually get the harvest the garlic from under the soil. So that is your garlic, and these sprout pretty quickly. I actually saw like a little sprout in it probably like the 5th day after. So the next one I have is one that I also started on the 28th, and it is my carrot. So you can kind of see it in there. I'm going to take it out so you guys can see it a little bit better. So all you're gonna do is just sit it in a little bit of water. So you can kind of see on the carrot right there, there we go, is that there was a little bit of water on it, but those are my little carrot stems right up there at the top. Oh, please focus. Got carrot stems right there up at the top. So then the same things will happen with this. This is a root vegetable. So unfortunately you can't grow a whole carrot. It's not going to grow back from the bottom of this. But again, these sprouts are going to get taller and taller. You could actually plant this in the soil right now if you wanted to, but I'm going to keep it in my water for a little bit longer. And then the seeds will disperse, fall into the ground, and you will actually then be able to harvest a carrot from that. The next one I have is just a regular onion. You can do this with yellow Vidalia onions, or you can do this with red onions, whatever you prefer. So this one is going to grow roots down at the bottom. So you can kind of see that one a little bit. I'm going to put it next to my shirt since it's black. You can see these roots right here growing under it, and then they're just going to sprout at the top. So green onions and regular onions are really fast growers. So once you put these in water, they will just start sprouting almost immediately. Then plant this in the ground, and then you can harvest some onions. The next one I have is my basil. So I had a little bit of trouble with this one because I forgot to change the water on it, and that is one of the main things that you have to do whenever you're trying to upcycle your food scraps, just those little bit of leftovers that you don't want, is you're gonna want to change the water at least every 3 days, but if it's in a very sunny windowsill, which is where you would like to place it, is some of that water can evaporate really fast, and that one just evaporated so fast that I just missed it. So I had lots of roots on it, and I still do, but unfortunately all of the leaves fell off. So I started a new one so that I could get it back out there, so I can plant this one and get some more basil. But yeah, this one, these roots started coming out like a week later. All of these roots, but all those leaves fell off. So I may still be able to revive this one. I may test it and put it in the soil and see if I can get something out of it. So that's 4 of them right there. We've got garlic, onion, basil, and carrots. That's 4 already. So I have 3 more for you guys. So this next one is a green onion. This one grew so fast, like so fast. It was absurd. All of these roots and everything, this is the one's a little dirty. All of those roots grew. I almost even have like a whole nother sprout coming out right here. But it started off down here, and then within a month I got it all the way up here. So this one is super duper ready to go into the soil. Then the next one I have is my cabbage. So really all of these so far though are just like after you're cooking, it's just that little bit that you don't normally eat, that you don't normally cook with, and then you just throw it away. But instead of throwing it away, you can reuse it and then put it in soil and have more food. And it's also much cheaper than going out and buying more. Yes, it takes a little bit of more time. Yes, it takes a little bit more patience, but it's ultimately saving you money and helping the earth. So this one is actually the cabbage that I used in the very first kitchen science video for our acid base indicator, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can save that for the 3rd video and do food scraps. So this is what has turned into. Here's the bottom of the part that I didn't use. I didn't boil it or anything like that, even though I could have. And so I put it in water like so, and then these roots kind of sprouted. This one's kind of similar to our onion. Those roots are gonna come out of that bottom base part. And then it started off nice and flat, and I got all of these luscious green cabbage leaves. Oh, I'm so excited to plant this one too. So yeah, again, change the water at least every 3 days. Check it, I would say, every day to see if the water has evaporated, because if so, then you need to get some more water. And then the last one I started actually a little bit later because I went to the grocery store because I needed lettuce for a salad, and I was like, oh, there's one more thing I can do. So I actually started this one on the 15th of May, so about 7 days ago, and it has already started to sprout. So this is just a romaine lettuce, just the butt that I didn't use in my salad. Again, just small little pieces of food waste that you don't normally eat or you don't really want to eat, and you can just reuse it like so. If you don't have a compost, you can regrow it. So here are those little leaves. Hopefully you can see them a little bit right there up at the top. Boop. So I would definitely leave this one a little bit longer to grow. So those are just some quick, 7 different types of foods that you can regrow. Super duper easy. Fill it up with water, check it every day or 2, give it some more water, sit it in the windowsill. Mine have been sitting in the windowsill for like a month, and it's just nice and easy. Little way on my way out to work, I just check them out and they're all looking good. So there's other types of food though that you can regrow. You can, like I mentioned, you can do red onions, you can do other types of herbs like cilantro, you can do all different types of lettuce. Really, the possibilities are endless, so you can do a ton. So the last thing I actually want to talk to you guys about is how to reuse eggshells. A lot of people eat eggs, and a lot of people just throw out those eggshells. Or if you have a compost, you can put those in them as well. But if you have a garden or really just any kind of plants out in your yard, eggshells can actually be a really, really good source of calcium. So they strengthen that cell wall like by a ton. It's not a quick fix if you have a plant that has calcium deficiency, but they really, if you just want a slow release of calcium and other nutrients, you can just use these eggshells, and that will give the calcium that your plants need and all those other nutrients. I believe nitrogen is also in eggshells as well, but just a very, very small amount, mostly calcium. So the easiest way to do this is first you want to collect your eggshells like so, like I did. you can put them in a big jar like this, or you can put them in a big bowl and kind of do it all together so you can get a larger batch at once. Then what I did is I just got a plate or a bowl like so, put my eggshells on that. Some of them are already crunched up. And then what you want to do is you want to microwave these for 2 minutes. Yes, you may start to smell eggs, because that's what I did as well, because sometimes there's a little bit of yolk left in there. I was like, wait, I hope there's no eggs that are cooking. And no, it's not. The reason you want to microwave these is just so that it can kill any pathogens that may have been left on there, like salmonella or anything like that. You don't want to put that into your garden. So you're gonna microwave these for about 2 minutes. Then I would get a hot one of these things. Take it out of the microwave because it's gonna be very, very hot. And then you're gonna wanna put this, use your tongs, like so, and put them into a food processor or a blender or a Ninja or anything like that that you may have. If you don't have any of those things, you can also put them in a bag, tie it up really, really tightly, and just kind of crush it, because you want to get them nice and thin like so. So I have a small little Ninja like this, and so what I did, ooh, super powdery, is I went ahead and crushed some up as well so they are nice and thin. So let's see, they're kind of hard to see. It's getting a little brighter. Let's turn that down. There we go. So you can see my nice and powdery eggshells in there. So once they're nice and powdery like so, then I'm just gonna put them in a smaller little container so that when I go out to give them to my garden, it's just nice and easy to spread around. So let's go ahead and pour these in there. Ooh, super powdery. Awesome. Woo. Getting all up in my noses. Alrighty, awesome. So now all you have to do is just take this down to your garden with you and then just spread it around for a nice little bit of natural fertilizer. This is gonna be good for all of your plants, I promise. So that is actually all we have today. Just a fun little short video on reusing, recycling, conserving what you have, and kind of just keeping an open, curious mind of what you can do to help our planet and reduce that carbon footprint that we inevitably all have, you know? So if you do have any questions at all, please feel free to comment down below and I would happily answer them. As for that though, that's all we have today. We are opening June 1st again, so we hope to see you guys there. And thank you for tuning in. Bye.